Edgar here with another review. I'm going to do a review on a Smith and Wesson 910. It's a 9mm. It's one of those numerous Smith and Wesson series where they did what was essentially a Model 59 and a bunch of different variants. The 910 is sort of their discount model. Their 910, 915s are kind of their poor man's version of a Model 59. Excuse me. I actually like it. I don't care whether it's a discount or not. Some of the small changes is you'll see that the decocker and the safety is only on one side, whereas with the other 59s, they're on both sides. The rear sights are plastic, and I'm going to show you one other thing that is a little different to sort of cut some of the cost. The great things about these is if you look around and find them in sort of the similar condition you'll see here, which is really sort of NRA good, maybe pushing very good, but somewhere in that range, you'll be able to find these for something on the order of $300. And I have to say, that's going to be a really good bargain for you. It's a full-size handgun, you can see that, and of course I complain about my little hands. Being a double stack, 15-round double stack. By the way, it'll take any of the Model 59 15-round magazines. I will show you, I guess I should show you that. Yep, it is empty. But being a double stack, that bothers me a little bit because I just don't have very large hands, and you've heard me complain about that before. This one, oddly enough, feels a little bit better than my 5906. This weighs about 38 ounces. It's got an aluminum frame. My 5906 actually has a steel frame and is pretty bulky. It's got some serious heft to it. Of course, that makes felt recoil pretty mild, but it's just big. This feels smaller to me, and I can't really tell you whether or not this is noticeably more narrow, but it feels more narrow to me when I hold it. I find it easier to fire, and the felt recoil is actually not bad at all. The trigger is pretty doggone good. Even now, it's a double action and single action, so the double action trigger is going to be what you would expect with a double action trigger, but it's fairly smooth. And the single action is really quite nice. I have to admit, I really like this pistol. Again, price is right. Most of the construction is exactly like what you're going to see with the 59s. You know, you tend to see these sort of things bought in bulk by security groups, organizers who do work, you know, security guards will carry them around. Let me show you something about the breakdown. Classic Smith and Wesson breakdown. You're going to have to push this after you pull it back a little bit. Now, one of the things you'll discover with Smith and Wessons after you pull them back is that is very difficult to push out. So what I do is I'll take an object like a Sharpie and I'll use that to force that out, because you kind of have to force it. It's really a pain. Smith and Wesson does not make it easy. Come on, Smithy. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to push this against my chest so I can push that out. Get it a little bit. Okay, let's start all over again. Take this, pull it back, shove that little guy out. It takes a little bit of a shove, and then you can pull this off and do the breakdown. Well, that was a bit of a labor. All right, we take that off. She does her little clack, and the rest of the breakdown is exactly what you expect with a 59, just like it. One of the things that's notable on the 910 is, ta-da, it actually has a plastic guide rod. Now, the metal guide rods will work. You can, if you ever break one of these, you can get one of the metal guide rods to fit all of these handguns, the 59 series. But believe it or not, this was a used handgun when I got it. I've put about 2,000 rounds through it, and so far, that plastic guide rod really isn't showing any wear. I don't know how they do it with plastic, but it works. Anyway, you put it back in, she snaps right in, kind of nice, as long as I don't throw it across the room. This is not my best day for doing this stuff. There we go. I think I got her in. Ha! Okay, put her in that way, let her slide forward, and of course the classic 59 style. You have to push that down to get her in. It's not easy to do on these. Get it clamped forward, pull this back, pull it back enough to get that in, and she snaps in, and there you go. You've got her back together. It's got a magazine safety, by the way. I'm not a big fan of magazine safeties, but this has got it. It sort of copied the high power. Put her back in, bang, there she goes. It's really a nice handgun, certainly worth the price, and if you're looking for a full-size 9mm that's going to be reliable, even with a plastic guide rod, I think you couldn't do better than this 910. Of course, I'm a Smith and Wesson kind of guy. I really do love them, and I've generally found that Smith and Wessons, even with the automatics, have been a very reliable handgun and just one that I enjoy shooting. Anyway, let me know what you think. This is Edgar saying bye.